guys come in, they sit down, and so the employees are following protocol and say, can we help you? Because Starbucks, most of them are busy. Even the one in Boston, I was extremely busy. There was a huge lineup, and there was a lot of people on their iPad or their Apple or their Samsung 9S Plus, and they were drinking their lattes, eating a skin. And so these two guys, they sit down, and so the girl doesn't see that they went to the lineup. So one of the employees of Starbucks, from what I've read, from what I'm interpreting, go there and say, and we know here in our country, in Tim Hortons and Second Cup and all of our things say no loitering, right? As soon as you walk in, big fucking disclaimer, no loitering. Is that fair to say, guys?
Yeah.
Well,
that.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, but they're doing that to protect their the logistics of where they want to have turnover, because that's how they make their money, right?
Right. But again, exactly what you said. Now, Starbucks, out of sheer convenience, is.
But I want to make a point. Then Johnny, you can chime in.
Okay.
Make a point. Here's the way I read this. So these two guys, they sit down. Fair enough. They're waiting for somebody to come in. The lady and says, "You're gonna have to order something." And they said, "Well, we don't want to order anything. We have a business meeting. It's a friend of ours is coming. It's for a real estate deal. We're dealing." She goes, "But you got to order something." Anyways, she come to the second time. I don't know if it was how many times it was. It's unclear with the media. I mean, you never know what the fucking media is reporting. Anyways, make a long story short, they called the cops.
Yep.
Cops came in, and they cleared the guys out. But here's my point. I understand. All you who know me, I'm not a racist, but I understand that the employee of Starbucks was following protocol. This is what I don't understand in the scenario, and then you guys can tell me. Why the fuck would the police handcuff them
Yeah.
and bring them back to the station and keep them for 8 hours and then release them? Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to say is, if they were in breach of company policy where you can't loiter without ordering something, right? And then their appointment showed up. And why would the police shackle them, take them out, and keep them for 8 hours?
Yeah. And I
understand. Here, guys, and I'll shut the fuck up. I understand the first part. I don't understand the second part.
Yeah. And the police chief said the cops were doing their job. Okay, a couple of things here. Okay, a couple of things.
Doing their job? They keep them for 8 hours.
Yeah. Well, but initially, they were doing their job to get them out of there because that was protocol. I can't believe the police chief, right there on our screen, who was black, said the cops were doing the right thing. Now, here's my point. The gentleman, I mean, if you sit down for a big business meeting, we're all into those. You don't order your meal before the third party shows up.
Yeah, but order a fucking water or a canteen or a fucking scone or something.
And what you said you were in Boston, I mean, I go to Starbucks because it's 2 minutes away, and I like their coffee. Sue me. But you see the same people. I see a guy, I see him all the time, sitting there with his, he's a lawyer, and he's doing doing his business on his computer. And I walk the dog 2 hours later, he's sitting in the same seat. This is so.
Yeah, but you don't know if you're walking your dog, if you guys had 2 lattes, another latte. You don't know that, right, John?
Well, I know the guy, and I know that you can get it filled up. They don't have a microwave, so they just come over and top up the same cup.
What I'm trying to tell you, John,
right.
is I understand.
But I know the guy.
I understand the police. Forget about your scenario. I understand that the employee said you have to order something or you can't sit here, right? I understand that you can't come to my restaurant. I own 2 restaurants, and bring your own fucking food or sit down without ordering something. We're going to tell you to leave. What I don't understand is why the police would so the police should have came in there. I disagree with the police chief. I don't care what color, creed he is. I disagree with the police coming in and handcuffing them and arresting them. The police should have said, listen, the scenario is, if you're not ordering, you need to leave. So you need to leave right now. And I'm sure they would have left, right? they should have been arrested and put in a cell for 8 hours or held in confinement for 8 hours. I think it's wrong. Bill, am I crazy in my mind here?
No, you're not, Frank, but you know what? It's a classic case of racial profiling, which is something that I'm not supportive of, but I understand. And when you read the statistics and who's involved in the crimes, you have to be especially careful.
I disagree. I don't think there should be any racial profiling. What I'm trying to say, Bill, is...
Well, that's all that was. 8 hours in the jug was racial profiling.
Billy, the press the press is missing the fucking point here. The media. They need to find out is why the fuck would the police not go there and say, listen, this is private property, which it is. It's a business. If you don't order, you're going to have to leave. Now, I watched it over and over. They were getting up. They did not resist. They did not tell the cops to fuck off. Why would the police handcuff them and then keep them for 8 hours?
Well, I'll tell you why, Frank. Because had they let them go, they were still open to those convicts, who they might have been. We have no proof of that. Coming back, guns ablaze and blow their balls off. I don't think you can take a chance on that, Frank. They should have gotten out of that restaurant as soon as they were asked.
Interesting.
I wouldn't. Well,
That's not a popular belief, Bill.
Why would you and I go into Frank's, John, and sit down and start having a business meeting? Oh, no, we're not going to order. We got a third guy coming. Well, I don't give a shit if you got a third guy coming.
Bill, listen. I'm not going to go against the employee who's doing their job. I'm going against that the police put handcuffs on them.
Yeah, but Frank, I know where you're coming from, but you can't.
I watched it over and over. I was not there. I can only regurgitate what I saw.
Yeah.
And they got up as soon as the police told them to get up, and the police handcuffed them.
Yeah. But the cops are going. You could see them. You could see them saying, "What did they do? We're arresting them for what?"
Well, they should not have. Tony, you're in the you're in the capital of our country, which is our version of Washington. And if there's something, the police will tell you to leave first.
Yeah, well, I think there's obviously a lack of just common sense. I mean,
I think the police fucked up on this one, and I'm a big supporter of the Men in Blue or the Men in Black. I believe the police fucked up, and the police should have said, "You're not ordering. The establishment wants you to leave." Yeah. That's it.
I believe that Starbucks employee has been fired, and Starbucks is getting tarred and feathered all over North America because of this.
Well, Starbucks should be tarred and feathered.
Yeah.
They should have zero tolerance to racial profiling and racism. You should have zero fucking tolerance. Yes. I have zero tolerance.
Yeah, all employees are taking courses now on exactly what you just said, Frank.
I don't give a fuck if you're orange, black, white, tangerine. I don't give a fuck. If you come in my restaurant, I deal with the public. If you sit down and you bring your own lunch, I got to tell you to leave. Mm-hmm. We're not a last stage.
The last resort is the handcuffs. I mean, you hopefully in police college you role play and you go through these scenarios where it's you ask them. Then if things start to heat up, but the last thing, you got to be smart and interact and negotiate with these people.
Tony, I'm on your side, and I'm going to tell you the police, from the way I saw it in my perspective, did not negotiate. They walked in. I watched it. There was no time lapse. They grabbed them and they handcuffed them and they kept them for 8 hours.
I think, Frank, there must have been an understanding or a law that when a business establishment has someone who's there and is not welcomed, and you call in the constabulary, they lock them up. Get them out.
You know what, Bill? You could be right. I'm not going to argue that, and I'm not going to debate that because you could be right. But I'm saying a Phoenix or Arizona coyote just got arrested for trespassing, but he already had been read the rights that he was not allowed to go there anymore.
Yeah, a former Maple Leaf, right?
Yeah, but he was not. He was already told that he was not allowed to go there anymore. so he was trespassing. These two gentlemen were not trespassing. They apparently broke the protocol that if you sit there, you must order something. And when the employee asked them once, I don't know if they asked them more than once. I really don't know. It's vague in the media. And then they called the police, and then the police extradited them.
Okay.
Well, by sitting there, Frank, to look at the other side of the story, they were effectively trespassing.
No, they were not. They were never.
They were sitting at a table and didn't buy anything. What the hell were they doing?
Yeah, but they told them a logical explanation.
That's not logical to me.
They were just waiting for their third party.
When your friend arrives, come back, we'll get you a table.
They wouldn't order until their friend arrived. I could see that playing out, Billy.
Also, I could see maybe they had no money.
They sat there all day.
They were having a meeting with was going to buy them coffee. I really don't fucking know, Bill. But I think it's a little excessive to call the police in to extricate them.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Oh,
I mean, that could have been handled by the management of Starbucks.
Yeah, especially during this Black Matters rampage that we've had. Not rampage isn't the right word I'm looking for. Movement I'm looking for. Black Matters, and to do that, oh my God, there'll never be another person walking into that Philadelphia Starbucks again. They'll be yelled at with megaphones. Andrew Tiziak put the viz up. My goodness, they're done. They might as well just shackle it up.